I use brown rice, the basmati rice. Heard of basmati rice? Yeah. This unfortunately isn't white because I ran off and out of it and I couldn't get any brown rice here in town. But what we have prepared for you is brown rice that I had got with me. Okay. So to demonstrate, I'm just going to use the white rice today because that's all I have. Because it's white rice, it cooks faster. And the brown rice takes a bit longer to cook. But the secret is that you soak the rice. Okay, that's very important. If you soak the rice, the water goes in, and when you cook, it cooks evenly.
How long do you soak it for?
Half an hour at least.
Half an hour?
At least half an hour.
Okay.
So by the time you're preparing the other stuff,
yeah,
it's getting soaked nice and well.
Cool.
And then it cooks a lot better. Don't soak it for more than an hour, it kind of starts breaking up. The beauty of basmati rice is it's long and beautiful to look at, and you don't want it to crumple down into your porridge. Okay, so soak it for half an hour, and then you got to get the other ingredients ready. Now, I have struggled following a recipe, so please advise me if I'm missing some things out. I'm going to use mushroom today in the rice. I've also got some red capsicum there for color and fiber, and I've got some green peas there as well. Okay, in your recipe you may not have all these ingredients. The recipe is for the one that you've been printed there is for you to get an idea of what to do with rice. Okay, and then you go from there. So I'm just adding in some extra veggies to get a bit more interest in color and so on. Now, if you want to have a really healthy way of cooking rice, you don't need to put any oil. Okay, now how do you do that without oil? I'm not just boiling the rice. I want it to be flavorsome, right? So we use oil so that we can have the flavors of the, okay, I'll show you some of the things that we're going to use. Have you seen this, star anise? Yeah. I'm going to use star anise. This is, do you know what this is? Cinnamon, yeah. And this is bay leaf. Bay leaf. Let's see if anyone knows what this is. Nutmeg? The skin of the nutmeg. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so it's called Javitri in India. So this is the skin. You can get it in the Indian shops. And it gives a nice flavor. Okay, this is not so much nutritional value, it's more the flavors that comes with it. You know, food is so important that you need to have good flavors. And this, you would know what this is. Cumin seeds. Yeah. Now, if you want to not put these stuff and want to make it plain, no problem. It'll still, you know, be great flavors. If you want to put some garam masala, you could do that as well. Okay. But we're going to use some red onions. It's got more flavor in it. Some ginger and some garlic. Now, I've been a bit lazy, honestly. I didn't have the time, so I went and bought these stuff and I use them. But if you want real good flavor, get the raw stuff. Raw ginger, raw garlic. Chop it up into tiny pieces, or if you want to put it in a blender, just make a paste. And the fresh flavors are much, much better than this. Okay? Okay, so let's get started off. If you don't want to use oil, what you can do is saute the stuff in stock. You can make stock at home, yeah, potatoes and tubers and those kind of stuff. Make stock. Use stock to saute. Now, I'll tell you what happens. You put it on first. Let me see if I can do that. All right. I'm going to do it on high for one lack of time. But if you've not done this before, take your time, okay? Don't go rushing into things. So what you can do is take the onions, put it in, straight into a hot pan. I'm using a non-stick, so it doesn't, obviously, without oil can stick. And keep sauteing it, okay? Dry. You've not put anything. You've not even put the vegetable stock into it. As the onion starts caramelizing, keep moving it, otherwise it'll get stuck. As it starts caramelizing, put the veggie stock and, you know, scrape it off the bottom. Are you with me? Yeah. Simple as that. No oil, you can still make a real delicious stuff. But today I'm going to use oil for you. Okay, I don't want to rush you into too much of reformation and you'll get discouraged. Okay, so we're going to use a bit of oil. But when I do my health retreats where patients come They stay for 3 days with me, so just that much oil is fine. When they come to stay with me for 3 days, I do this without any oil. So all the recipes are oil-free, which is great. Again, I'm not trying to tell you, don't take oil at all, but it's better you avoid it, especially if you're having trouble with diabetes, hypertension, and so on. If you have some seeds every day, there's enough oil, omega-3 and all that in there. So I'll start putting some spices in there. Do you like Indian? Do you cook Indian? You do?
Indian.
Yeah.
Don't cook it that much.
So there's the star anise in there. I'll put some cinnamon. So I've got really long stems. Oh, that looks awful. That should do. I'll put some of this mace stuff. Just a wee bit. Just a wee bit. So just there. Whole is good because you can pick it off, you know. And this is bay leaf, pretty big. I'll just break it up. And some cumin. You can already get the smell coming through if you, a pinch of that, a bit more than a pinch really. All this is up to you, what you want to put. You don't want to put, don't have to. You want to put other stuff for flavors, up to you. So once I've started sauteing that, I put some onions in. The more onions you put and the more you saute it to make it caramelized, I'll put less so we can do it faster. The more it gets caramelized, there'll be a sweetness in the dish that you're making. So you don't have to put the honey or the, you know, maple syrup that I've put in there. Where is my spoon now? Oh, here it is. So this should saute. It's going to take a little time as we saute this. For lack of time, again, we'll rush it through, okay? But try to make it a bit caramelized, so it's kind of light honey, you know, or brown color. Don't overdo it and burn it, because if you do that, the whole flavor will be bitter. So be very careful with that. What are your favorite dishes, Indian dishes? Anybody? Most people would say butter chicken. So we're trying to substitute to healthier options, okay? We need to enjoy life, and enjoying life, food is a very important part, isn't it? But we need to be careful of our health. What we eat today, we pay tomorrow for it. So we don't want to do that. We want to be healthy. So as I said, you can get rid of the oil, you can get rid of the sugar or sweetness, what you normally add, and you can make real flavorsome food. Now, if it was being caramelized without oil, it'll be faster actually, if you're doing it on high, pretty fast. Okay. You need to fry at least till its raw flavor goes away. Okay? If you keep sauteing it a bit more, it starts getting a bit brownish, and that gives a sweetness and richness to the food. So if you're doing a curry or something, you know, potato or chickpea or whatever, the more you saute, the better the flavors come through. And then what you can also do is put a little bit of water once you're happy with how much it's sauteed, and it's got a bit caramelized, and cover it on low flame so that it kind of simmers and it dissolves. And that means your curry will be a lot smoother, the gravy will be a lot smoother. The other thing you can do is take off the whole spices once you've sauteed the onions, and then put it in a blender and whiz it, and you're done. It just means it's hot. With some tomatoes, if you want a tomato paste, or if you want a cashew-based paste. Have you used cashew any time to make a paste? No. So if you want a rich curry, and you don't want to use butter and, you know, all these cheese and stuff like that. Indian food, they have this cottage cheese they use to make it smooth. They use cream, milk cream. So you don't want to use all that again. I'm telling you to get off dairy if you can. So instead of that, what you do, you take some cashews. So this is not for this dish, but I'll just tell you, this is what you're going to do. Raw cashews, soak it for at least half an hour, and put it in a blender and whiz it. And you'll find it'll get a rich, thick cream. And you can put that into your curry to get a lovely textured gravy. Okay, I'm running out of patience, and I know you will also soon, so we'll go on to the next step. I've got some ginger, as I said. Get fresh ginger. You'll be happier that way with your curry. So how much you want to put is up to you, but I'm just putting in this curry, a flattened teaspoon. So some ginger and some garlic. As long as you cook it right. If you don't cook it, then it's going to smell awful, taste awful, the ginger and the garlic. So this is a really important step, okay? You need to cook the ginger and the garlic, and if you don't, your guests won't come back home to eat your curry anymore. And the other thing I do at home when I'm cooking, I open the doors and the windows and close the doors of your bedroom. Otherwise, when you go out, you'll smell like curry. And of course, I have to take a shower too. These are strong flavors, yeah, strong smells. So, okay. Now I haven't put salt. I can do it at this stage because it helps the water to come out. I can actually put it with the onion in the very beginning, okay? And if you don't want to put any salt, that is fine. Some people prefer to use the salt after the food is cooked while you're eating, so that you actually would need or require less salt. Did you know that? You can manage with less salt. Now, that's kind of getting caramelized. So what do I need to do next is I'm going to put my mushrooms. So we have chopped up mushrooms. You can choose any mushroom you like. I won't put too much. And you know, mushroom, they kind of starts melting and the water starts coming out. So cook it with that water. Don't put any extra water at all. It'll still, soon start to melt. They say there's nothing like curry in a hurry. Okay? It takes time. But this is not a curry, this is a rice with veggies. Did any of you try the recipes we did last week? You loved it so much? Give it a go, see if it works for you. Okay, I would normally do a bit more than just this much, okay, but of course you're going to boil it with the rice a little later. So it doesn't quite matter, but I like it done a bit more so it kind of melts with the rice. So I've got some green peas. Sometimes what I do is instead of adding the green peas now, I'll add it after it is all cooked up, because then the green peas has that nice green color. Now if you add, it kind of becomes a bit dull in color. If you want colors and all that, you've got people coming home. So you cook the rice, boil the peas, and then once you're finished with the rice, you put the green peas so it still looks nice and green. Capsicum I put in with, as I'm cooking because it doesn't make too much of change. I can see the water coming out. Okay, I would cook this a bit more, but I'm not for lack of time. Now what I'll do is that I'll put in the coconut milk. Now that's behind, I think. Oh, here it is. Can you fill this up for me, please?
Water?
Yeah. It's already looking so nice, different colors in there. And now what we're going to do is add the coconut milk. Now you need to measure the coconut milk. How much of rice did I take? I didn't tell you guys, did I? So I took 2 cups of rice, just 2 cups of rice. And it's important because I want the water to dry out. I don't want to throw the water out after cooking the rice. Okay, so for that I need exact measurements. Now this is a big secret. But you all remember and keep it with yourself? No, you can share. For 2 cups of rice, you need 3 cups of liquid. For basmati rice I'm talking about, okay? So 2 cups of rice soaked, you need 3 cups of liquid. So you can use a veggie stock as your liquid. You can use water as your liquid. You can mix up the liquid with some coconut milk, as I'm going to do today. Okay, I don't want to use cream, but I couldn't get the milk. Didn't have the time to run around. So we've got some cream here. Cream is a bit too rich, especially if you want to lose weight and you get healthy, you don't want to use cream. So if you want to use coconut milk, dilute the coconut milk. So you get the flavors, but not too much of the oily stuff that comes with it, okay? So I've got 2 cups here, approximately. I'm going to put that there, sorry. I need to measure. So 3 cups of this. This is 2 cups, by the way, this measurement here. And that'll be another.
So if you were doing 1 cup of rice, it would be 1.5 cups.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I put a bit more. So if it's brown rice, it will be slightly less water, because when you soak the brown rice, what happens is it absorbs the water you're soaking it in. White rice doesn't do that. So if you're cooking brown rice, take off 2 tablespoons of water, the whole 3 cups, take 2 or 3 tablespoons off. So what we need to do now, if you've got some herbs like coriander leaves or mint leaves, you can put some herbs in there as well. Okay, bring it to boil. So I'm going to cover that. I'm going to bring it to boil. That may take a little time. Check your salt content. Okay. Now while that is going on, let's cut and go to another recipe. Would you be okay with that? So we get on quick. Okay. Now this is a very simple one. I didn't know if this is worth demonstrating or just telling you, but we'll try to do something together. So this is Kumara salad. Okay. With the Kumara salad, what we have done, for the Kumara salad, what we have done, we have taken the orange colored Kumara. Yeah? Yeah. And someone's helped me cut it into cubes, and they just boiled it. We don't want it to become mash. We want it to be just right. Not raw, but just done. Okay? And your measurements are all there in your recipe. So if you can do this with potato, but you know why I'm choosing Kumara? It's healthier. It's lower glycemic index. Though it's sweeter, but your blood sugars go up slower than if you were to take potato. All right? If you've grown it in your own home, if you've got potatoes that you're growing in your own home, don't get rid of the skin. It's organic. Wash it up and use it. But if you're getting the sprayed ones from the Pack and Save or wherever, we've got no other choice, some of us do, then take off the skin, because a lot of those fertilizers or whatever they use, pesticides and whatever, gets under the skin of the potatoes. Okay, so I've got that there. Now I'm going to make a salad, so obviously we're going to add other veggies into it.
Excuse me, Tom.
Yes?
When you put the rice in the other dish?
We're going to put it, I want the water to boil. I'm waiting for the water to boil. Yeah. Otherwise, my timings will go all haywire. It'll be overcooked or burnt or something of that kind. So what we're going to do, I'm going to lightly salt it. When we boiled it, we didn't put any salt. So just a wee bit of salt. Now again, we want to avoid salt. If you can, that'll be good. Okay, I think that should be fine. Give it a good toss. Right, and we're going to make the salad, so we're going to put some of this red capsicum. And we've got, you can put whatever you like, by the way, okay? This is just my choice. And some of this green onions or spring onions. We got some red onions too. If you don't like it, I'll understand. It's very strong. We've got some celery here. And that should do for the veggies. We'll leave it there. We've got to make the sauce, but pot is boiling here. So let's start this. It looks kind of whitish. I like to change the color, so I'm going to use some turmeric. Okay. I love turmeric, so we'll put a little more than usual. Okay. Give it a good stir. Now I ran out of herbs, so no herbs are here, but otherwise you can use mint, coriander, whatever herbs you can. Yeah, you like. It gives its own, so that's why, simple recipe, and you can make any flavor you like. Okay, so I think I've given most of the things in there. Sometimes you can even put some cashews in there. Shall we do that? This is for the other recipe. I think I've got a bit more cashew than, I've just soaked them. This is a cashew nuts. Shouldn't take too much because then our sauce will get funny here. Yeah, you can have roasted cashews. You can even put some raisins if you like the sweetness of it. Yeah, do whatever you like. Just keep that proportion in mind. If you mess up the proportion and the time I'm going to tell you, then your rice will be in a mess. Okay, you may get a porridge or you may get uncooked rice. So bring it to boil. So there were 3 cups of liquid in there, 2 cups of soaked rice. Okay, now because I'm using white rice, I put the white rice in there, mix it up, and cover it. Then I have to keep time. 5 minutes, no more, 5 minutes on high. Lower the temperature and keep it for 5 minutes on simmer. With me so far? And then when 10 minutes in total have finished, switch it off, take it and keep it away. Don't lift the lid for the next 5 minutes. No matter how curious you are, do not lift the lid. All right? I did that when I first started cooking. I used to lift the lid and it used to be a disaster. Because in that steam, the rice continues to cook. And what happens is, as it cooks, it gets softer inside and evenly done. If you lift the lid, the outside will be well done, the inside won't be nice. It'll be like raw, half done. Okay, I better use my hands. Okay, and now we give it a stir. And a good stir so that it kind of gets mixed well. Now this rice is going to get cooked with that water. So as it comes to boil, that's the time you start your watch. Okay, it'll come to boil within a few seconds now. Okay, so who's going to keep time? You know, got to watch? There? Okay, you keep looking at that and tell me when 5 minutes are up. Okay, great. So it's on high and it's beginning to boil, and you're going to tell me after 5 minutes. Okay? While that's going on, so it's on high for 5 minutes. Oh, by the way, if you were using brown rice, which is what I would recommend you do, okay, if I was to use brown rice, same thing, soak it for half an hour at least. It's biryani rice you're using, so it gets a bit soft. Put the rice in. You're going to put a little less water than you would put for white rice. So 2 tablespoons water less. 2 of rice, 2 cups of rice soaked, 3 cups of liquid. And if it's brown rice, you take off 2 tablespoons of liquid. Same thing, but only difference is for white rice, we do 5 minutes on low, 5 minutes away, and then open the lid. For brown rice, you do 7 to 8 minutes on high, 7 to 8 minutes on low. So 2 or 3 minutes more each phase. And then keep it covered for another 5-10 minutes before you open the lid. Okay? You're going to have brown rice, so you will know how that tastes. All right, so we'll get that there now. Now that I've got the salad all sorted in terms of what's going to be in it, and I've salted it lightly, now I'm going to blend this, okay, using the ingredients, and you've got that in your recipe that you've got there. So I've got about a cup of soaked cashew nuts, okay. So I put the cashew nuts in, then I've got 1/4, 1/4, 1/4 measures. So 1/4 of cauliflower, okay, cauliflower washed nicely. Then I'm going to have 1/4 of water, 1/4 cup of water, and 1/4 cup of oil. Now if you're not using oil, don't worry, it'll still come out right. It won't be as rich because of oil, but you can get rid of the oil from this recipe, okay? And I'll encourage you to try that. No oil and see how we go. Then we've got 3 spoons of lemon juice or lime juice, 2 spoons of apple cider vinegar, and 1 spoon of maple syrup. You can use honey as well, okay? And half a teaspoon of salt. Simple? Have I missed out anything? Okay. Put all of them in your blender and blend it. It'll be a nice, smooth, textured sauce. Can you see the sauce? Yeah. Adjust it, taste it, see if the sweetness is okay, the salt is okay, the other flavors like the lime stuff. I haven't put any chili hot in this. Okay, so there are 4 flavors people look for. Usually, most of these sauces, you've got the salt, the sweetness, the tartness with the lime or lemon, and then you can use a bit of hot if you like. But some people put nutritional yeast. Have you heard of nutritional yeast?
Yes.
You can get it in bin, I think. You've got a bin in here, don't you?
You can also get it online.
Online as well? Yeah. Okay, put a bit of that as well. Just adjust the salt, not too much. Okay, how are we going? Yeah, 5 minutes? Oh, 1 more minute to go?
1 minute.
Okay. So once I've got this sauce sorted, all I do is put in this and mix it up. How simple can it be? That's all, as simple as that, okay? So we've got 1 more minute. Do you have any questions to ask so far?
What's the secret for red rice and black rice and wild rice?
Difference?
Yeah, what's the secret for boiling it for those ones?
Yeah, so the unpolished rice or the brown rice, I would do a total of 15 minutes cooking. The wild rice and all that, it'll depend on your cooking instructions because they have differences, but I think 15 minutes should be fine. Yeah, it's just make sure that the amount of water should be adjusted, so go down slightly. Yeah, 5 minutes? So I'm going to go down to minimal. So I'm going to keep that for 5 more minutes. Don't worry, I'm not going to do it now. I'll take it behind and do it. And then after that total of 10 minutes, we're just going to put it off, take it away from the stove, and we leave it there for at least 5 minutes. So altogether 15 minutes time, at least 5 more minutes, and then I will open it up and we will, turn it around a bit and leave it for another 5 minutes so that it kind of gets nice and soft inside. Right, with that we finish. Thank you for bearing with me. I'm sure it's been a very tiresome cooking procedure, but it's worth it. Yeah, you love the food that you make using plant-based foods. Thank you.